Tula, and I will be sharing a beautiful story of a conversation I had with different aspects of nature and what it took me to, and the place that it took me to truly feel that oneness and that connection with all. It was a beautiful exercise, one that I went into a little bit frustrated and came out of it with clarity and a newfound confidence in my practice and in the old traditional ways and in my intuition, and just it was so profound. So here goes nothing. Here's the story. So it was back in October, no, September. It was in September. It was, I was at a retreat, a beautiful shamanic practitioner retreat run by Beáta Alföldi, which was incredible. And we were up in the middle of Portugal in the mountains, and this retreat was just nothing like nothing else I've experienced. The people that were there were the definition of unconditional love. And before we were sent off to lunch, we were asked to do a particular exercise. And this exercise was to connect with something from nature and ask it a question and allow that answer to come to us. Now, I wanted to quickly raise my hand before we started even going into lunch to ask our teacher, our mentor, our dear facilitator and guide, to ask her why we're doing this at all. I mean, what's the point of us asking nature or like a tree or a flower or a rock? What's the point of us asking anything when the whole purpose that I've been understanding, from my understanding, is that I want to connect with my intuition. I'd like to connect with myself. That to me is the truth that I'm looking to really delve deep into, and the only truth that matters. So why nature? Then before I even raised my hand, she said, "Okay, go off for lunch." And I said, "You know what? Fine. I'll ask nature this question." So a friend of mine and I decided to go towards the lake. We walked to the lake that was nearby, and we sat in different areas so we can have our own respective experiences. And I went into meditation, and I connected with this incredibly beautiful lake. And I asked the lake, I said, "Lake, why am I here asking you any question I might have when I could just connect with my intuition? What's the point of me asking you?" And in response, what I received was an image of the lake not really being a lake. And I saw a river coming through and leaving. It was a river, but it was kind of like a little, so the river comes through, but then there was like maybe a little bit of a area here, and that's where the lake, and it looked like a closed off lake, but really it's a river coming through. That's the image I saw. And it showed me that it's bringing a lot through this river. And while the river is smaller and younger, the lake holds a lot of knowledge because it's just sitting there over the years, watching, taking things in. And it seemed very old, very wise. The water seemed to just hold so much knowledge and memory of experiences. And the answer that I got is that was just the only answer I got, that it was just a holder of knowledge and that it's actually connected to the river. And then I was frustrated, to be honest. I asked the question again, and it just told me a little bit more about how it was this wise, knowledgeable kind of space, but it's not a lake at all. Then once we left, my friend came and she was done, and it was time for us to head back. And we started walking towards the space where we're all living and staying for that retreat. During our walk, we run into another friend from the retreat who decides to walk with us. And during that walk, we were talking about writing. My friend is also a writer and has been looking to do some writing, but things were holding her back. And it really resonated with me what she was speaking of. I'm in a similar situation. And so we continued our walk, and then another person from the retreat, actually the owner of the land where we were staying, was driving by. She was just at the lake as well, at a different point of the lake. And she asked if we wanted a ride, and we said sure. So we all hopped in the car and we drove a little bit more, and then we picked up another person from the retreat. So the car ended up being full, and it was just so beautiful because there was so much joy in that ride, and it was such a feeling of beautiful community coming together, and we were just kind of going and picking people up, going and picking people up. It was just very cool to experience, and to feel, you know. Once I arrived at the retreat, I decided to walk towards, there's a pool area, and at the edge of the pool, there is a little wall that I could climb and sit on. And most of us would sit on this wall to enjoy the views of what's out there in front of us. There were fields and trees and horses. And so I decided to stand there on that wall and look at the fields. And I look at the bush in front of me, and I decided to ask the bush the same question I asked the lake. I said, Lake, nope. I said, Bush. I said to the bush, okay. I tried to ask the lake, it wasn't answering me. What's the purpose of me asking you this question? What's the purpose of me asking you any question I might have? And it told me, now I heard it in words. It told me that it might be younger than the lake, but in fact, it's all connected. And it showed me now the roots coming down from the bush and going into the ground, and it showed me the earth and the roots almost going all the way to the lake, and how the lake is all connected to this land and how it's been watering this land. And it said to me, any question you ask me, I can ask the lake for you as well. It's not just going to come to me, it's also coming to the lake itself. So it's never just me. And even if I'm young and not as wise, I still have access to that same knowledge as the lake. And I can answer that same question for you. And I said, well, you're still not answering my question. I said, okay, but I'm interested in finding out why I'm asking nature these questions when I could be asking my higher being, my intuition, my connection with self when I move into meditation. And that was the answer I received. It didn't change. And then I could hear the conversations going on around me. And now it was about family and what it means to call someone a brother or sister. It was a few friends from the retreat discussing that. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then I decided to start my walk up through this path to go across the land towards the space where we're having our circles, where we were sitting and learning everything during the retreat. And during the walk, I decided to ask the rocks and the flowers I was passing by. And I said, rocks, flowers, whoever is listening, I want to know, why am I asking you any question I might have and not ask my intuition, my higher being? Why am I asking you? What's the point? And this is when things shifted. I first saw all of the conversations I was overhearing or a part of. Then I saw the lake slash river I saw the bush and all the roots connecting with the lake. I saw everything coming together, the people I encountered, the people I've been meeting with, all of it just coming together. I saw all the different visions, the different images, and then they all kind of came together and kind of like a puzzle, like that, just into a ball. And it just like a puzzle, it just looked like a ball that perfectly fit together. Everything that I was experiencing from the moment I sat in front of that lake until then, just I saw it just connect. Everything was connected. And the message I received after I saw those images was, it really doesn't matter. You could ask the lake, you could ask the bush, you could ask the rocks or the flowers. You could ask your higher being and your soul. You could ask whatever you need or whoever you connect with. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's all one. It's all connected. Every single experience that you are having, every single thought, everything you're hearing, everything you're seeing and smelling, it's all connected for that one purpose, which is for you, for you to experience it, for you to learn from it, for you to have your questions answered. It doesn't matter if I sit and connect with it, with nature, or if I connect with my higher being or the Akashic records or my oracle cards or whatever I need to use to get my answers, whatever tools I'm using to learn and to grow. It doesn't matter, because it all reaches the exact same knowledge. It all connects back to the one. It all connects back to each other, because we are one. And when I heard all of this, my heart feels as it does right now. It felt a peace just wash over it that it's never felt before. Not in that way, not in that strength. Like, it felt strong and peaceful. It didn't feel like a weakling. Like, it didn't feel it just felt strong. It felt connected. It felt one. It felt everything suddenly made sense. Everything suddenly was clear, and everything suddenly was feeling like it was just 100% for me. It was all answering my question, whether it's the lake when I sat down, or the conversation I was having with my friends, or seeing how the people were getting in the car, or the conversation I was overhearing, the people I encountered along the way, or the messages I was receiving from nature. It was all to link back to my question. Family, my career, purpose, our interactions, our community, our everything that we need in this life. It was being answered for me in this short span of about, I don't know, maybe it was like half an hour in total, maybe 40 minutes max. When you feel that connectedness to the one, when you feel that connection to everything, and you realize we are one, there's nothing but unconditional love, because it's all a part of you. There's nothing but peace, because it makes sense, because it's clear now of why it's there. And it's our own creation of what we are creating and what we're attracting to learn, what we're asking to learn. It's all up to us at the end of the day. When you feel that connectedness to the one, to everything, you realize how every single thing has such value. Every being has value. Whether it's the little rock I was passing by and the little flowers I was passing by and asking those questions, whether it's the beings all over the world. So that's what I'm going to close with now. I will talk a little bit more about the connection to the one and bringing us back to that connection and the difference it can make, not just in our lives, but in our hearts and in our days and in our understanding of our life experience. Because this is the connection that we're all going back to, moving into. This is the connection that can truly make that profound change in your life. And it's everything. It's nothing and everything. It's everything and one thing. And just, it's just so incredibly beautiful when you're, especially when you're feeling it. My gosh, like it's just, I hope to someday truly be able to paint that image in a way or create some kind of an animation of some sort of what that experience was like and what the story was like for me and the images I was seeing, because it stayed with me obviously, and it's something that I wish for everyone to experience and to understand. It's taken a lot for me to get to this point to understand these things. A lot of traumas and hardships and learning and a lot of really purging and darkness and a lot of beauty and a lot of adventure and laughter and community and family and connection and just an abundance and love. So I want to share these stories because I feel that while the shadows are important for us to work through, I don't believe we need to suffer to connect and to really experience the oneness. So that's going to be my purpose in my videos and what I do, to help each person move into that space. Okay. Well, thank you all so much. I have such love for every being out there, whether you're watching this, whether it's people who are currently suffering in the world, and there's a lot of suffering going on right now, or whether you're a newborn child or you're about to be born, or there's so much love to every being out there, every animal, every tree and plants. Cha cha cha. I love my plants. All right, sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy today and this week, and we shall talk very soon. Sending you so much love. Thank you for watching.